You said Hefner was the poster boy for sexual liberation, but you never felt liberated in the bedroom. It was always framed as a choice, an invisible trap framed by the language of choice. Could you elaborate on what you mean by that?
Hold on. I never felt liberated in the bedroom. He's 90, going on 110. What are you talking about? She was 21 years old. I can't even believe they actually went in the bedroom. I actually thought maybe that was just for show. She went in the bedroom with him. No. This is a 21-year-old girl. I don't know a 60-year-old that would go in the bedroom with him. Are you? Maybe to change his diaper. I mean, this is ridiculous. Hello, America, FBI and CIA agents and fellow cult members. Welcome to another episode of OnlyFans on Trial. Now, you know I love to title my shows, so we're going to call today's episode When the Playboy Mansion Parties Are Over and the Bunnies Are Set Out to Pasture, You Don't Get to Come Home and Be the Girl Next Door. Guess what? Today's episode is on Crystal Hefner. So Crystal Hefner is the widow of, the late Hugh Hefner, and she's written a book called Only Say Good Things. Let's see what she's got to say about her experience at the Playboy Mansion. Now, the first clip we're going to check out is Crystal promoting her book on The Gail King Show. Let's get into it.
Crystal Hefner is speaking out for the first time about life inside the Playboy Mansion and her marriage to controversial Playboy founder Hugh Hefner. Crystal Hefner spent nearly a decade living at the mansion and moved out after her husband's death in 2017.
Very pretty girl.
But in her new book, she writes she lost her identity because of this relationship. The book is called Only Say Good Things, Surviving Playboy and Finding Myself. And Hefner writes, quote, "The number one rule of Hef's world is you didn't say anything bad about Hef. Life was a classic Hollywood romance and life was good."
First of all, that's so Hugh Hefner, right? The number one rule of Hef's world is you didn't say anything bad about Hef. Now, I believe that. And life was a classic Hollywood romance. Life was good. Very interesting. Now, what I find more interesting is that it's called Only Say Good Things, but then it's called Surviving Playboy and Finding Myself. This should be interesting. All right, let's see what they've got to say on the Gail King Show.
Playboy did not respond to multiple requests for comment, and Crystal Hefner joins us now, first on CBS Mornings. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks.
Congratulations.
What is she wearing? What is going on here? That is not what I was expecting to see. This looks like a housewife that's driving a minivan with 4 kids going to soccer practice. This is how you show up on the Gail King Show? Interesting.
On CBS Mornings, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks.
Congratulations on the book.
Thank you.
So, Crystal, despite living at the mansion for nearly a decade, you say that it never felt like home. You write about having nightly curfews. You write about the power dynamics and conforming to specific body standards through plastic surgery. You've said in other interviews that you look back on that time with regret and disgust. Break down that characterization for me.
Whoa. She looks back on that time with regret and disgust. That's interesting. I still can't get past what this girl looks like right now.
Being at the mansion was very hard. It was very traumatic looking back, and as I go through therapy after I left,
Therapy?
Your value was skin deep, so you had to make sure that you looked perfect at all times.
Well, hold on a second. Being at the mansion was traumatic. Therapy? Therapy for it was very hard. What? Hard what? Like when you're with your personal chef, you weren't like completely happy with your meal choices, or was it your hairdresser, or all the money that you got, and the free cars and clothes and all the lifestyle? I'm lost here. These girls chose to move in with Hugh Hefner, and I'm pretty sure she chose to marry him. And I still do not know what I'm looking at. I don't know how this woman was even on Playboy, period.
Or at least perfect to what, Hef standards were.
Hold on a second. I'm so sorry. Isn't that what Playboy's about? Perfection? What is she talking about? Standards? I mean, what, you didn't know what Playboy was before you went there and showed up?
And so when you say that you were brainwashed, you felt like you were brainwashed when you look back at that time, people will say, did you really not know what you were getting into by even being at a party at the Playboy Mansion?
Yeah, I think this was a time like pre-Me Too, and when Playboy was more at its prime, and it's something that girls aspired to be part of, and I was a part of that. I was 21, I was an adult, but looking back now as a 37-year-old, I'm like, I was young and impressionable for sure.
Yeah.
I was young and impressionable. First of all, what does pre-Me Too have to do with any of this? And did you hear what he's saying? He's saying in her book, she's saying she was brainwashed. Brainwashed? Okay. Hello. Playboy is a massive empire. It's one of the biggest brands in the world. There's nothing that we don't know about Playboy before we show up to a party at the mansion to pray that Hef picks me. I mean, what are we talking about? First of all, I don't know who ever would pick her for anything. She has the worst personality on the planet. Talk about lame. I'm telling you, a soccer mom has way more personality than this. I don't even know what this is. She's like a lump on a log. Literally looks like a log. I don't know what this outfit is.
You knew what you were doing. It's interesting because I find myself with this book fascinated.
Oh my God!
At the same time.
Hold on what did Gail say? Hold on a second. Hold on. Are you looking at her? Everything is just like she needs to call Hugh Hefner's hairdresser. She's got to call that man or whoever it was back. It looks like she poured grease over her hair before entering this show. She literally looks like a log. A log. Look at this. It's like, it would be better if she had actual riding boots on and beige riding pants. Just a thought. But I don't know what this is. Who dressed her? Fire your stylist.
We're doing it's interesting because...
Okay, let's see. What is Gail saying here?
And impressionable for sure.
Yeah, you knew what you were doing. It's interesting because I find myself with this book fascinated and repulsed at the same time.
I'm sorry. Gail is scorching this woman. She says, you knew what you were doing. And then she said, I find myself fascinated and repulsed with this book at the same time. This is hysterical. I got to see what her reaction is. If she's going to yell at Gail or what. That's harsh.
Because I find myself with this book fascinated and repulsed at the same time. Because here you go, that first night, it's lights, camera, action, and all that we know about the Playboy Mansion. It was exciting, it was fun, it was really sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So you go there, and that very first night, Hugh picks you out of the crowd, doesn't he? Can you move your hair? Your hair is blue.
What is this girl's face? Gail is saying, some of the harshest things, and look at her. What is that? She's literally telling you that you're basically a whore that went to the mansion to be a legal, socially accepted prostitute. Gail is basically saying that. And she's like, I mean, what is this? What is this? Oh my God, call the posture police. Go back to the Hef crew.
You move your hair. Your hair is gorgeous, but it's hitting your microphone. Okay.
What is this?
Yeah, you can move it back. So he picks you out that very first night that you're there.
Yeah, very first night, and I felt like the chosen one.
Yes.
How is she smiling like that when Gail is saying, he picked you out the first night that you were there? And she's like, I felt like the chosen one. But you were brainwashed and you're just, so tormented from this that you're in therapy and, I lost myself, whatever she said 3 minutes ago. I mean, hello? You look pretty happy right here when Gail is saying that he chose you out of a crowd. First of all, I don't even know. How could Hugh Hefner choose her from a crowd? I mean, the guy was like 90 or something. Maybe he was pointing at the girl next to her or somewhere else. I mean, he's probably got cataracts at that point. I mean, seriously, his daughter's pretty old too. She might have grabbed the wrong one. Who would pick this girl? Her personality is unfathomably boring. lump on a log looking like a log. She came dressed looking like a log.
Yeah, you felt like the chosen one.
I'll say no
He
more.
chose me.
Yeah.
And then once you're there, you said you really can't even trust any of the girls because you said, I think your words, we would shank each other. Everybody was sort of vying for his
Shank you.
affection.
Yeah, everyone was against each other, and it was very hard. Female friendship was very hard there.
I like to, you said, Hefner was the poster boy for sexual liberation, but you never felt liberated in the bedroom. It was always framed as a choice, an invisible trap framed by the language of choice. Could you elaborate on what you mean by that?
Hold on. I never felt liberated in the bedroom. He's 90, going on 110. What are you talking about? She was 21 years old. I can't even believe they actually went in the bedroom. I actually thought maybe that was just for show. She went in the bedroom with him. No. This is a 21-year-old girl. I don't know a 60-year-old that will go in the bedroom with him. Are you, maybe to change his diaper? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I think that's very strong.
I think Playboy itself, when Hef started the brand, I think he wanted it to be all about freedom and expression. And when I was at the mansion, I feel I completely lost myself to what was expected of me. So there was nothing free about it. I felt trapped.
The whole thing was free. What are you talking about? You lost yourself in Hugh Hefner's wallet. That's where you lost yourself. Maybe you left it in the, whatever that, in the, what was that thing called? The grotto. When you took all your clothes off and got naked in the pool with God knows who. The thought of that place is really gross. I mean, it's iconic and all that, and I get it, but watching clips from that show, I mean, 100 maids could sanitize that facility. I think that's why it's getting knocked down or something. Maybe they'll build condos. I don't know.
But yet you get married in 2012.
Yes.
This is the thing that got to me.
Wait, let's bring this back. Hold on a second.
Lost myself to what was expected of me. So there was nothing free about it. I felt trapped.
But yet you get married in 2012.
Yes.
This is the thing that got to me. Because you are 26 and he is 86.
Yes.
So what were you thinking at that time? Because you can't call this love, could you?
No.
Mm-hmm.
She says no. Gail's killing this. So you can't call this love. I guess in 2012, okay, she's 26, he's 86. Yeah, you can't call that love. You can call that like a caretaker, a prostitute. I don't know. A business transaction.
I don't think it was love. I did care for him.
Yeah.
He was getting older, and I know he wanted to protect his image and just be the man that he was to the public. And
you also said you thought he needed you.
Wait a second. He was getting older. The man is 86. How much older can you get? You're marrying a 26-year-old kid, basically. I mean,
felt that he really needed me because at a certain point, like, I didn't need him for anything. I was good on my own. I had money. I had all these things. But I remember telling my mom, I'm like, he needs me.
Mm-hmm.
You told your mom he needs you. He needs you. You had money. Yeah, you had money that he gave you already because you'd already been there for God knows how many years. She spent 10 years. 10 years here, okay? You were 21. You married him at 26. And you had money. Yeah, you had money. You've paid no rent. You were getting an allowance, I guarantee. I mean, what is this woman on? Where's the brainwashing? Where's the brainwashing? This is what I want to know. She acts like she was in some cult. Hello, you chose to go into this. This is the Playboy mansion. There is nothing about this that we don't know, okay? It's like doing drugs. Everybody knows what, crystal meth does to your face and does to your body. It's not a secret. So if you go and smoke it, that's on you. You understand what I'm saying? You can't say, I was brainwashed to smoke crystal meth. Somebody convinced me down in the alley on 43rd Street because, I was a little depressed. And no, I felt like smoking crystal meth. What are we talking about here? This is bananas. She's bonkers. This is the problem with girls today, okay? You want to go writing a book, you better think about it before you go writing it. You understand? Because this isn't really making much sense.
So I stayed.
You write that it was a job, that you didn't really love him, that he didn't have any of the qualities that you imagined that you would find in a man when you dreamed about potentially getting married.
Hold on, okay. First of all, she was saying he needed her. Okay, yeah, and then she married him, right? No, my mother, I told him he needed her, right? Now she's saying he didn't have any qualities. Of course he did. It's the money. And of course Hef needed her. Of course he needed her. He's 86 years old. He looked at her as a caretaker. He didn't want to die alone. I mean, honestly, she has the personality of convalescent home caretaker. The ones that are nice, that kind of just don't bother, or this or that, or yeah, whatever. Is your diapers wet? Okay, Hef. You want my hair bleached again? Okay, yeah, okay. I mean, what are we talking about here? This woman has no personality. Literally, I'm starting to think Hugh Hefner was actually going senile. Marrying her? I don't know.
What did the job entail?
The job entailed completely losing myself to someone else. And I didn't fully realize that until later. So I just made myself Hef's mirror, and that was my job.
Okay, so that's your job. Your job marrying Hef was prostitution. A legal prostitute that's, I wouldn't even say that's socially accepted, okay? But let's just say a socially accepted legal prostitute that also does caretaker/nurse chores, right? Am I right? And you're getting paid a lot of money to do it. It's all about the money.
You sit here today, 36, 37?
37.
37. Still very young, very young. As you sit here today, what is your life like today, and what do you want people to know about the woman that you are today?
Life is good now. I finally have freedom.
Do you have love in your life?
I do. I have recent love in my life.
Congratulations.
Okay, life is good. I have freedom. So you got a lot of fame. You're getting more of it because you're writing a book. And the man, you cut a business transaction with the man, married him. He asked you just only say good things. You couldn't even do that. Really? I mean, where is the brainwashing? Where is like all of this, stuff? Oh, I don't understand this. This is bonkers. You got fame and money. You climbed up a big ladder. It's a narrow one because, once you go down those paths, nice men don't really want you anymore. So I don't know where this love in her life is, but the fact that they're congratulating her, yeah, I get that. I'd probably congratulate her too, because, after being ran through in the Playboy mansion, I don't know, it's slim pickings, you know what I'm saying? Let's see where this goes.
Thank you. It feels very healthy, and I'm happy, and I'm finally finding myself, who I am and what I enjoy.
Feel better.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do want to read this about Hef's death because I think it sort of sums it up from GLAAD. Hefner was not a visionary. He was a misogynist who built an empire on sexualizing women and mainstreaming stereotypes that caused irreparable damage to women's rights and our entire culture. I don't think this could thrive today. When you hear that about him, do you think that's accurate?
I think it's accurate. I think the mansion could never happen today. It was almost like it was some type of social experiment. Yeah, it can never be repeated, for sure.
Thank you for being here, Crystal.
I'm glad you have love in your life.
Yes.
And then you're feeling really better about your life these days.
Thank you.
Very glad to hear that.
Only Say Good Things is available today.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so she says it could never happen today. It was a social experiment. Okay, it is happening today. It's called the prostitution website OnlyFans, which, I don't know, seems like she probably has an account, okay? The difference between what was happening then and what is happening now is that in order to be a legal, socially accepted prostitute back in these days, you needed a gatekeeper. You needed Hugh Hefner. You needed Playboy. You needed the Hustler Club or whatever. Okay, you couldn't just really do this stuff on your own. Now we have websites like the OnlyFans website, which is a prostitution website, so you don't need the pimps anymore. That's what this is about. And if I had to guess, she probably ran through the money, and that's why she's writing a book. I just have to say that I think it's disturbing that you cut a business transaction, okay? Look, I'm not going to totally judge you for your choices in life. You chose to marry an 86-year-old man and move into a mansion that's just beyond. I mean, I can't even really fathom what goes on in that disgusting filth, but that's another story for another day, right? You made the choice. Now, if you made a deal with him and he asked you to only say good things to keep the brand and the name of the, alive, why wouldn't you just do that? Because looking at her smiling when she was chosen and Gail's like, you were chosen on day one. I'm not seeing the brainwashing or the abuse here, okay? Right? You weren't abducted and brought into a tunnel underground and found 10, 15 years later by, the FBI or, this isn't like a sound of freedom here, okay? It's called Sound to the Money and Fame, and it's called Hugh Hefner, and you got lucky. All right, let's get into the next clip. I mean, seriously, these girls. Okay, this is, a clip of her on Misunderstood. It's a podcast, and this host's name is Rachel Yucatel. I know nothing about her, so let's dive in.
Right. So you talk in your book, and I don't want to give too much away to people, but you talk in your book about how you became a runaway bride about 5 days before your wedding was supposed to happen. Can you share a little bit about what led up to that? I know a couple times before you had been tempted to leave, you had been stopped, and you kind of planned this exit, right?
Plan this exit. I remember something about her not marrying him, like very vaguely. I don't remember much, but I do remember that now. Okay, let's see where this goes. So she's now the runaway bride.
Yeah. I planned it. After we got engaged, Hef was planning a show with Lifetime. It was a 2-hour special called Marrying Hef. And I overheard him and the producer talking about how they were going to make $800,000 for this 2-hour special. And Hef came into the vanity, my little area in his room, and gave me some paperwork that had a talent fee of $2,500. And I told him, $2,500, I know you're making $800,000 on this. Like even just $10,000 or something, I'm going to have to carry this thing. And he did it. He asked me, what are you in this for?
That's a damn good question, Hef. What are you in this for, Crystal? Now you're negotiating your talent fee for another reality show episode? Are you serious? First of all, $2,500 is good money because you don't do anything. You don't even have a personality. I wouldn't even pay her $25. I'd be like, look, go start your Instagram account or whatever you're doing and make something of it. I mean, what is going on here? This girl has been handed everything and she's complaining about $2,500.
And I got all this PTSD from all the crazy interviews where people are like, you're a gold digger and all this stuff. So if now Hef's asking me, what am I in this for? So I ran out, security, there was an issue where I couldn't leave. And so I thought I need to do this smarter. So I slowly moved my stuff out and I left during a movie night. I said I needed to.
How is it that you couldn't leave, but then you slowly moved your stuff out? How does one do that? Just saying.
Pick up tampons and the security just let me out.
Hold on. Did she just say that she had to pick up tampons and that's how she escaped? This is getting more and more ridiculous by the minute.
So I slowly moved my stuff out and I left during a movie night. I said I needed to pick up tampons and the security just let me out.
So she couldn't leave, but then she slowly moved her things out. Mysteriously. I mean, maybe aliens came in and picked them up for her and flew them out. Maybe a drone did it. I don't know. And then all of a sudden she says one night during a movie night that she escaped by telling them she had to pick up tampons. As if there's not 3 bazillion boxes of tampons in the Playboy mansion. As if she doesn't have like 13 assistants to go and do that for her. Like, do you really think anybody, including Hugh Hefner, who is a genius, by the way, you can think what you want about him, but he built an empire, a brand that will live forever, okay? On his own, all on his own. You think he believed that she's running out to get tampons? I'm going to go with no.
Right. And you didn't come back. You didn't call. You didn't say where you were going. You escaped.
I didn't, and he would call me over and over and over and over. Voicemail after voicemail, called my mom. And I just left for a year.
So, right.
She escaped for a year. So let me get this straight. She escaped, but somehow she married him? This is before the wedding. Just keep that in mind, okay? That's some escape. Can you imagine people that really can't leave places? Seriously, be serious here. There are actually girls and women, boys, kids, children that have been abducted, sadly, that really can't escape. Think about this. She's coming up and concocting this story to write a book to get money. That is disgusting.
Now, I think a lot of people, again, if they hadn't read your book, they wouldn't know this. I know, but you had sort of started a friendship with Dr. Phil's son, Jordan, earlier than this. You guys were working on some music together, right?
Yeah. We were working on some music. And
now I'm just curious about that for a second. So, I mean, having all this stuff, for most people, you realize when you do have things and you haven't had things in the past, that's really exciting and that'll last you for a while. But then you kind of want more. So did you want to have some sort of credibility on your own, make some money on your own? Is that why you were doing some music stuff? Because you had studied at one point to be a psychologist. Like you obviously came from having aspirations and wanting to do more than just be someone that was seen on someone's arm that was powerful.
Let's see what she's got to say here, because you already know where I'm going with this one. Dr. Phil's son. She better be a real musician.
Yeah, and I think with the music stuff, I was just kind of bored and trying to have some hobbies. And
I was kind of bored and trying to have some hobbies. Is she for real? This gets better by the minute.
That's how it started. But later on, I did start working. The social media started coming out, Instagram, and I would post and make money with that. And I got into cryptocurrency and real estate, but that came a little bit later.
Right.
First of all, you got on Instagram and started making some money. I don't believe it. Okay. And first of all, secondly, actually, if you did get on Instagram and started making some money, it's because you were one of the girls next door or whatever the heck you were called on that show. You're Hugh Hefner's ex-girlfriend or whatever. You ran off. Of course you're making money. I mean, hello. The gatekeeper set you up to. Duh.
So you felt comfortable enough with Jordan and his father, Dr. Phil, to listen to their guidance and get decide to run away. But can you talk a little bit about how they were so powerful in your life and gave you enough confidence to leave?
Wait a second. Dr. Phil and his son gave her the guidance she needed to run away, to escape the Playboy mansion? It's getting juicy.
Leave.
Yeah, so I was feeling trapped, and I told Jordan about it. I didn't know who I could trust. And Jordan said, "Oh, you need to come up and talk to my dad." And so I thought, okay, Dr. Phil, he helps people on TV. That's great. So I go up to his house, top of Mulholland, and he sits me down. And
top of Mulholland. This is the circle she's running around, okay? Oh, I just, I felt trapped, and I told my music producer that I'm doing for a hobby, okay, Dr. Phil's son, that I was feeling trapped, and he said, "Come on up and I went to the top of Mulholland Drive." I mean, are you getting this? Are you getting this? You went to the top of Mulholland to Dr. Phil's house and had a conversation about you feeling trapped at the Playboy mansion?
He's like, "You're a 25-year-old woman," in the Dr. Phil voice, and nobody should trap you, and you should be able to live your life. And with my newfound confidence, I go back to the mansion. I slowly move everything out. I finally leave. And, Jordan's like, "Oh, just come live with me." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, this guy has a crush on me."
Wait, it does not get any better than this. Is she about to move in with Dr. Phil's son?
And so we ended up being in a relationship. I kind of warmed up to the idea of him, and we were in a relationship. He was in a band, and we went to the Viper Room. He was auditioning some singers, and Dr. Phil shows up, and he goes, "Oh, this is awesome. Crystal's here, and it looks like my son bagged himself a playmate. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I fell into the same trap again. Like he's convincing me to leave the mansion because his son wants to like date me or something. And I fell victim to the same stupid trap.
What do you mean? You started dating him. You moved in with him. You ran to him and he was a Captain Save-A, you know what, and he took you in and you got, some newfound confidence to escape the mansion by telling Hef that you got to run out on movie night to get some tampons. Who believes this? Who gave this woman a book deal? Okay, because that publishing company should be shut down. Okay, you know why? They needed to get a ghostwriter to come in and write this thing for her. You understand where I'm going with this? Because she doesn't know how to put A to B to C to D together. I mean, none of this makes sense. You understand? This is ridiculous.
Again.
Right. I mean, how does that make you feel that Dr. Phil, who's someone, that people go to for advice and they trust him, was kind of the one that made you see the light that you one more time are just as good as how you look and, the status as playmate as opposed to who you are?
It was awful because you think of Dr. Phil in the show and it's about making things better, supposedly. But I learned quickly, I'm like, okay, Jordan has like his dad's black Amex, and it's like enabling children. Doesn't he have episodes about don't enable your children? And here he is doing it. So it all fell apart quickly. And I understood it was the wrong thing. And things are not always what they seem anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're what they seem right here because it's pretty clear what the trajectory of this girl's intentions were. You met Dr. Phil's son. Actually, Hef probably hooked you up with him to get your little music hobby going because you were bored when there's millions of other musicians that, put their 10,000 hours in and can't get even an inch. They can't even get in their church, you know what I'm saying, to play. And here you are, and then you run off with Dr. Phil's son and his black Amex. Okay? I mean, what is she talking about? And as far as her being so scorned because Dr. Phil, after watching him on TV help all these people like Bad Baby in her OnlyFans career when she got $50 million on OnlyFans after getting on Dr. Phil. You just didn't make the right choice, Crystal. You should have started an OnlyFans account then. I don't even know if it existed at that point, but, the opportunities weren't there. What is she talking about? This is nuts. Dr. Phil is a television show. He is to entertain you. That's all it is. It's an entertainment show. If you really wanted help and you wanted a real psychologist, you would have walked your little behind down somewhere else, like maybe Rodeo Drive with a high-end, very expensive, exclusive psychiatrist. Not up to Mulholland Drive for the, Oprah version. I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah. So is that what kind of sent you back into the mansion, into the arms of Hef, so to speak?
Well, that relationship had failed. I had opened a lingerie store with a friend, and I'm like, I'm not even into this. Why do I have this store? That failed. And Hef's secretary, Mary, reached out to me and said, Hef hasn't been happy. He misses you. He's been really sad. And I was reflecting on I was reflecting on my own life, and I thought, okay, maybe that's where I'm just meant to be. Maybe that's just my path, and I need to go back.
Yeah, I mean, for someone who had spent so many years of your life kind of stopping and starting with people and not finding this ultimate love, like, I feel like it was really evident you were...
Okay, I'm done with her. Like, first of all, let's be real clear here, okay? You went back to the mansion. You went back to the mansion. What are you talking about? You escaped this, crazy place that you couldn't get out of to get tampons. You used Dr. Phil to do it. And then you go back? You go back after all that? Oh, I know why. Your lingerie store failed. You needed more money. Mm-hmm. Well, let's see where this
and I feel like he gave me my value. It's disturbing looking back. But
He did.
you know, if you don't really know who you are, like someone can give you that value or that, you know,
credibility.
Yeah, he just I don't know, it's like made me into who he wanted me to be. But when someone does that, they can also take it away from you. So it's hard.
Right. So you go back to the mansion and you get married that same year at the end of the year in December, correct?
Yes.
And were you okay on your wedding day? I mean, were you happy about it? Did you feel invested, or was it something you were dreading? Okay.
It got easier when we were married. I think, you know, he was getting older. He was more dependent on me. He would let people know if there's a request from Crystal, take it as a request from me. He would, instead of like oogling over scantily dressed women, like he would tell them like, oh, have you met my wife? And it made me feel more confident. And eventually I stopped bleaching my hair and I took my implants out, and he respected me more. He ended up respecting me more.
Did you take any mementos from the mansion?
I'm trying to think of what I have. Like, not too many things. If anything, like I wanted to get rid of most everything. Like
Ashamed.
all the outfits for the parties and all the things I wore, and like I hated playing dress up and doing all that stuff. So all that stuff's gone. Like, okay, I don't want to wear heels anymore.
Right. But knowing you were moving out of the house, I just wondered if you I don't know, took a doorknob that meant something to you, or I don't even know, but like something that I think
the whole place gives me like PTSD. So I think I didn't want to remember anything from there.
Right.
I do have like a couple guitars in here that
Nice.
One was my dad's, and there were a couple from the mansion that have signed when I was learning how to play. But I have a couple paintings, like a Maryland painting that I liked, but that's kind of it.
I was going to ask you, like,
So she took nothing from the mansion because she has too much PTSD. Okay.
how do you date? Because you haven't had a great track record with knowing what unconditional love is with men who...
You don't date. Nobody wants to date anybody that's been living in the Playboy mansion for 10 years and married Hugh Hefner.
respect you, love you for who you are, men that will stay. How would you suggest for people that resonate with your story, that are still looking to know what a healthy relationship is? Like, how did you even find yours?
How would she ever know what a healthy relationship is? We're talking about a 21-year-old girl that went straight into the Playboy mansion, lived there for 10 years at 26. She married Hugh Hefner at 86. A healthy relationship. She's going to advise somebody on a healthy relationship? Oh, and in between that, she ran off with Dr. Phil's son and then came back, escaped, and then came back. Healthy? This girl wouldn't know a healthy relationship if it smacked her in the face. She knows how to get a book deal, though.
I think the majority of what helped me was listening to my intuition. And at the mansion, I pushed it down. You know, just like that first night going up to the bedroom, like, this is weird. And I'm like, push it down, make it quiet.
She actually went up to that bedroom. This is brain-boggling. I'm telling you, I never thought anybody actually did that. I thought it was just for the show. Poor girl.
But now I'm trying to listen to my intuition more. After the mansion, I dated some not so good guys, like struggling musicians and actors, and it was manipulating and controlling. And I'm like, wait, this is deja vu, except this time I'm paying the bills. I'm like, no, this is awful.
With Hef's money.
It took a while, and not settling for anything less. And if you see a red flag or anything that's off, cut it off. Yeah. We cannot fix people. We cannot change people. People are not going to grow up. And when you meet someone, it just feels right when somebody is actually kind and caring and wants the best for you.
Victim, 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 victim. She is always the victim. She's always the victim, and she takes no responsibility for her own choices. Okay? Really. I mean, this is bizarre. She doesn't want to keep anything from the Playboy mansion. You're here promoting your book because of the Playboy mansion. No loyalty at all. Seriously. Okay, we're going to get into the next clip. Let's see what this is. This is, a tour of her home. This is her home after the whole Playboy mansion. Where are we going with this?
Welcome to my house. I have a Mediterranean villa that was built in 1937. I completely gutted and remodeled the entire thing, and I cannot wait to show you. Come check it out. Here we have the entry. I got my Mickey on the wall. Over here is a little walk down memory lane, which is a photo of Hefner. It's a scene from a Marilyn Monroe movie, and Hefner and I are imposed in the faces.
Hold on a second. She just got through saying that she took nothing from the mansion. It gives her PTSD. She's giving a tour of her home, her new home. And the first thing you see is a photo of her and Hef hanging on the wall in the entryway. Is she nuts?
I really like that one, so I've hung on to it.
Really like that one.
We'll go to the bedroom first.
She hung on to it.
I got this little rabbit door knocker. Kind of reminds me of Playboy days.
Oh my, a rabbit. She said she has a rabbit door knocker. Kind of reminds me of Playboy days. What happened to the PTSD, honey?
I got this little rabbit door knocker. Kind of reminds me of Playboy days. Let me show you a quick look in my closet. I'm pretty much a minimalist, so I have like some boho dresses and just not that much stuff, which I really, really like. There's my bunny suit.
Her bunny suit. Where is her agent? Someone call her agent. She is messing everything up. Her bunny suit. Her bunny suit. She took nothing from the mansion because she had PTSD. Okay.
Really, really like. There's my bunny suit. Most of the time when you wear the bunny suit, you have to return it, but because I was VIP, I got to keep mine. And
VIP?
Yeah, and this door, it goes to a secret staircase. All right, this room's kind of cool. I made it into like a music type room. I got my DJ set up, a keyboard, and I got these really cool guitars that I put on the wall. This one is to Hef from Bruno Mars. Hef.
Another piece of Playboy memorabilia. Oh, of course she took a guitar signed by Bruno Mars, written to Hef. Of course. PTSD.
Thanks for making dreams come true. This one, the company makes guitars out of oil cans, so they sent me this and Hef signed it.
You have to be kidding me. How many pieces of memorabilia are we at already?
This guitar was my dad's. So my dad was a singer and played guitar. So this is his. He kind of like customized it, and I really, really like it. When I first started learning guitar, Hef gave me this Playboy guitar and he signed it. And this is my Playboy cover from 2011. So I have Playboy in this room. I have some Disney in this room. I have more Disney over here because I'm obsessed. So it's music meets Playboy meets Disneyland, which is kind of like my dream. So
because she's living in a fantasy world.
Yeah. I have to show you guys this door up there. When I saw this house, it reminded me of the Playboy mansion because at the mansion, there is like little Romeo and Juliet balconies up.
Am I losing it? Are you getting this? This is recent. Hello? Every single thing in this house is something to do with the Playboy mansion. You're kidding, right?
And that was one of the deciding factors for buying this house was how cute that was. Thanks for checking out my house. I love you guys so much.
It's really going to hurt her lawsuit coming up, for all the PTSD and the, entrapment and you can't leave and all of this stuff that she's talking about in this book of hers. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be getting any checks from Playboy or Hef's daughter after seeing this video. I just can't. All right. There's one more clip. Let's check it out. It is actually a clip of Hugh Hefner on Piers Morgan. Let's see what this one's about.
Well, that is the number one question, and I don't have an answer for it. I really don't know what happened. I think that in time, the rest of the story will play out. But we took a trip to London. I think the real problems began a couple of months before the wedding was said, when we were talking about, when the lawyers got into it, we were talking about the prenup and et cetera. Something was not right, but I didn't see it coming. I truly didn't see it coming.
Look, the skeptics.
Okay, so this is a clip of Hef, apparently, before she escaped the mansion to get tampons and left for a year to spend time dating and moving in with Dr. Phil's son and starting her lingerie store that failed. And this is before she came back, apparently. You know, the funny thing is Hugh Hefner, he's in sound mind. He looks good, too. Shocking. 86, huh? I take that back. I take all that senile things back, yeah. Saw something in her.
Was saying, come on, Hef, you're 85, she was 25. How was this ever going to work as a marriage? Playboy girl, yes, but not as a genuine marriage. I was surprised that you were taking the plunge again at 85. I mean, what do you say to the skeptics who said this was never, ever had a chance, really?
I think that's a very valid question. I think, quite frankly, now, the day after, I'm asking myself the same thing. Where was my head? Well, the previous weekend, she and Anna and I went to the jazz festival. And when we got back from the festival, we sat down and she said that she was really having some serious reservations about the marriage. Not about the relationship, but about the marriage. And I said, look, the marriage is not the important part to me. The relationship's the important. And if you are happier single, that's okay with me. We can work out the details. That was only half the story, obviously, because the following morning, without my knowledge, she was packing the bags.
And when did you find out that she was doing that?
On Sunday night, we started our Sunday movie, and during the movie, early in the movie, she stepped out to apparently go to the bathroom. And when the film was over, I realized she was gone.
She took you for a ride?
I think an argument could be made that she took me for a ride, but I must say, quite frankly, it was a pretty nice ride.
That was funny.
It was two and a half very good years, and if she was faking it, she did it very well. She certainly convinced me that she was. I wouldn't even contemplate the possibility of marriage if I didn't think that she was really, really committed to me. So, if she was fooling, and a good case can be made that she did a very good job.
Has she got any money out of this?
Yes, but not as much as she would have if she married me.
I mean, how much has she walked away with?
Well, she asked for a Bentley right before we split, so...
She asked for a Bentley right before they split. She asked for a Bentley. Come on. And you're wondering why people are calling you a gold digger, Crystal. Really?
She got the car. She got the ring. She didn't have to get it. As a matter of fact, to her credit...
How much was the ring?
The ring was, I'm not sure exactly. The ring was, I would say, around 60, 70,000. But to her credit, we had have a dog, Charlie, and I love the dog. She brought it back and felt that I missed it more than she did.
So she kept the diamond ring and the Bentley.
Well, the point is, she gave me the dog. It sounds a fairly unfair split to me. I gave her the ring.
And did she get any cash out of you on top?
A little, but not a great deal. Yeah.
Wow. What a stinger at the end is. So you asked for a Bentley before you escaped. I don't know, maybe you felt that you had to drive one in order to be around Dr. Phil and his son. I mean, a Bentley. And then you gave the ring back. You didn't, that was, that's noble of you. And you brought back the dog. A dog that Hugh Hefner and you had together. Okay. Obviously, this woman is demented, delusional, and a very good hustler. In my opinion, she should get a Hustler of the Year award. I mean, this is absurd. You brought back a dog. You don't care about the dog, clearly. Okay. My thoughts, my closing thoughts here. This is where women's mentality is today, okay? Legal, socially accepted prostitutes. They don't want to put any work in. They don't care about, they have no self-respect, no dignity, don't care about anything but climbing the ladder and doing it in an easy way, okay? This is ridiculous. OnlyFans on trial, she should be jailed. Okay, I hope you liked this episode. I'm Debraba. See you next time.